high, feel the waves cut through me, hypnotized by the sounds I'm breathing in. Hold tight, chemicals collide. Hold tight, hold tight, hold tight.
Okay guys, so to get this tutorial started, I'm first going to go ahead and prime my face. I'm going to be using the Dr. Brandt Luminous primer, and I love to use it with the Dior Undercover foundation because it is just a very mattifying foundation. It's also not the right tone for me, so I love to mix it with the Lancome Teint Idole foundation because it's just in a shade that I actually use to mix with foundations that are too dark. The Dior foundation is also a little bit more orange than I actually like. So I am going to go ahead and do a little bit more color correcting with another foundation, and that foundation is going to be the Hourglass Vanish Stick Foundation. And I don't really use this foundation on its own because it's very yellow, but I love to mix it and color correct other foundations. And by the way, if I have not mentioned the shade or any information that you guys may want to know about any of the products I'm using, I'm gonna leave all the information in the description box down below. Sometimes I leave links, but it depends on how much time I have, but I definitely always leave the information in addition to shade and tones that I use in the description box. I'm going to be contouring and highlighting with the Colourpop Cosmetics concealers. Once again, I will leave the shades down below. I am using 3 shades or 2 shades to highlight and 1 to contour because these concealers, they do dry a lot darker than they actually look when you first apply them. So that's why sometimes I do have to mix a couple shades in order to get the right tone that I'm looking for. I did use a beauty blender to blend my concealer and a Layin tools for my foundation, and I went in with the Real Techniques brush for my contour and this shader brush, it's called, I think, to blend out my nose contour. And when you're done blending all together, it's good to just go back in with your foundation brush so that everything looks nice and blended together, or I should say seamless. Now, to highlight or to set my highlighted portion, I did use the Maybelline powder, and I also used the darker shade to set the rest of my face. For brows, I'm going to be using the Brow by Benefit. It's just the best brow product I've ever used. It's a gel, but it almost applies like a powder, so it gives you great control. You can do a bold brow or you can do something more natural. I'm actually going for the more natural look today, so I'm going to only fill in the places that are a lot more sparse. And I have a new concealer brush. This is actually the 226 brush from Makeup Forever. It's just the best concealer brush that I've tried, so I was so excited that I picked up another one. For priming my eyelids, I'm going to use Layin Low Paintpot by MAC, and I kind of question whether I should or not, but to be honest guys, this is such a basic makeup look. Everything about it is basic. I've been experimenting or using a lot of cream products on my lids, like different colors and textures even, so I just wanted to keep it, you know, very, as I said, basic. So I'm just going to stick with Layin Low, which is just a eyeshadow base that's going to extend the wear of your makeup. I'm then going to use the Smith 232 brush, and I'm going to start applying that shade through my crease just to give myself, it's just going to be a transition color. Someone made a comment when I did the makeup I bought but did not use video, and she was saying that, you know, she looks at the palette, it's gorgeous, but she gets overwhelmed with all the shades. The only thing I will say is that for your transition shade, start with a bigger brush and start with a light color. This is going to be the color that everything else kind of transitions into. Then you're going to switch your brush and you're going to go with a smaller brush. The one that I'm using right now is another Smith brush. It's the 230 brush, and that's just going to pack the color a little bit more dense. And If you want, you can also go back to that other brush that you used to blend it out, but you want a brush that's smaller because you don't want everything to blend into each other and look almost like a, you know, like monotonous. You want it to be kind of like transitions into each other. Like, I don't like when people do eyeshadows and they do 10 eyeshadows and at the end it almost looks like they only use one eyeshadow because everything kind of blends into each other. And I think that's what scares a lot of people, because you know, they go in with all these shades but there's no transition from the lighter to the darker shades. I would say switch brushes, and right now I'm using the MAC 2221 brush because I do want to deepen the outer crease, so I want my brush to be smaller. I hope that makes sense. But that's pretty much what I'm doing. I'm just gonna deepen the outer crease and I'm just gonna keep packing these eyeshadows on until I get the desired smokiness that I'm looking for on the top crease as well as the bottom lash line. For the lid, I'm gonna be using this Tarte eyeshadow, I think it's called. Such a beautiful product. This one is in the shade Park Avenue Princess, and as you guys could see, that thing is metallic. It's, as I said, it's sort of like a cream eyeshadow, but it's a powder. I don't know what they did, but this product is bomb. And as I said, I'm going to use it on my lid. To be honest, I wish if I could use my fingers. It's just that it's in a pot, so I couldn't get my finger to scoop out as much product as I want. I'm using the MAC 242 brush to apply it, but I would say if you can, use your finger. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to spritz my brush because I do want it to become more metallic, but yeah, my nails just didn't want me to get my finger in it, so I would definitely recommend your finger. I like to use a bronze shade to tie my lid shade to my crease shade, and I'm gonna go ahead and deepen the crease. And I tried the black from the Jaclyn Hill palette, but it wasn't giving me as much depth, so I did go in with this Too Faced palette and use the black from there. As you guys could see, that is giving me some nice depth in the crease. Once I apply my lashes, I'm just gonna go ahead and dust off, you know, the excess powder I had there. I didn't have much follow-up from the eyeshadows, but you wanna just put down a little extra powder just so that if you do get some fallout, you can always dust it away and it's still, your base still looks flawless. For bronzing, I'm going to use this Tantastic, I think it's called, or Tantalizer bronzer from Lorac, and I'm just going to mix the shades just to give my skin a little bit more depth and warmth. And for blush, I'm going to be using this palette that I also mentioned in my makeup I purchased but did not use video, and that was my first time using it, and I think it's such a gorgeous blush. And it does have the Whisper of Gilt highlighter in it as well, and that's what I also used as my highlighter. For the bridge of my nose, I'm actually going to use a different highlighter, and this one is the Jaclyn Hill Prosecco Pop. I did actually use some on my cheekbones as well. And of course, you want to set your face, because as much as, you know, the makeup does look natural and flawless, you just want to make sure that it looks like skin, and the Fix Plus helps it to do that. For lips, I'm going to be using Cork lip liner by MAC, and I'm also going to be using another liquid lipstick by MAC. This one is called Burnt Spice. It's such a beautiful nude, as you guys could see. I did leave it nude, but I mean matte, which I do prefer, but I also gave you guys the option of a glossy lip. But I want you guys to leave your preference in the comment section below. Are you guys a matte lip girl, or are you switching over to glossy lip? I'm still in between, but thank you guys so much for watching and for supporting my channel and leaving your comments and doing all that good stuff. I will talk to you guys in the next one.